Hey, how's it going everyone? This is YLAM here. In today's Fuji Friday, I want to talk to you a little bit about buying used gear. This is a really good time for it because Black Friday just went, Cyber Monday is now gone, so all of the really good deals are kind of already gone. And it's kind of a low period for a lot of the vendors because they're going back trying to restock, seeing what they actually have in inventory before the next big sale. So you kind of have to wait until closer towards Christmas before you're starting to get some really good mega deals again. So this is a good time if you feel like you missed out on some really good sales to look at used camera gear because there's just an absolute ton of it out there, and many times all of that gear out there is in excellent condition because there are a lot of people that buy a lot of camera gear, don't use it, and then go ahead and resell it. And what I find is that I find really good deals in really great conditions, and I get them at very good costs. Just to give you an idea, I own 13 Fuji lenses. Of the 13, 10 of them are used, and I use them every day, and I have saved a ton of money buying those 10 lenses used. The remaining 3 lenses that I didn't get used, here's 2 of them. They either came with a body or I did buy it brand new, which is the 16-80, which is the only lens that I bought brand new just because that focal length is really useful to me, and to wait for that to get onto the used market usually takes a year or a couple of years, so I didn't really want to wait on that. So at least once a year I'd like to cover this topic because I always know that there's new people coming into photography or videography. I know there's a lot of people that just got X-T30s because the video series talking about the X-T30 is super popular on my channel right now. So for those of you who just got into Fuji cameras, you really want to consider buying used gear because there's a ton of it out there and a lot of it is in really good condition. I was actually just looking, this X-T30 right now you can get for about $650 used in excellent condition. You combine it with a 18-55, which is a great lens, for about $300. So for about $900 to $950 you can actually get this combo. If you were to buy this brand new, even with the sale that's going on right now, you have to at least pay $1,100. I know if I actually tried, I think I saw this combo, I can probably get it for just under $900. So you could potentially save $250, $300 getting it used. And most of the reputable sites, they really do offer a nice return guarantee. So you can definitely try the gear out, make sure everything's working so that you know you're good to go for that Christmas present. This is definitely something you should think about if you're the person receiving the gift. Tell them that you don't mind getting used gear, especially if you can get more gear for the same price that they were willing to spend, because a lot of the times you might be able to do that. And one of the great things about buying used gear is that if you use the gear and you don't like it, you can always sell it on eBay and get back most of the money that you actually paid for. Now, if you had bought that gear brand new and you went ahead and sold it on eBay, you're definitely going to take more of a loss on that piece of gear than if you were to sell something that you already got used. So that's really something that's really good to consider, especially when it comes to buying lenses, because you don't really know which lens is going to resonate with you until you go out there and you try it. And you really do want to try a lot of different lenses because all of these lenses are slightly different, and it's a creative process, which means you definitely get better if you try different lenses, but unfortunately that can be a very expensive proposition. One way to do this, of course, is to rent lenses, but a lot of people don't rent lenses, which is kind of a bummer because you really ought to try to do that, because the more lenses that you're exposed to within a camera ecosystem, the better you can understand how a camera system works. Watching a camera review on a lens just doesn't really cut it. You really do want to have some just personal time with the lens to really figure out if it's the lens for you. It's definitely a lot of personal preference. I don't really know of a good way to say that to you. So hopefully this video helped a few of you out. Definitely go out there and start looking at used camera gear, because you do kind of have to get used to looking at used prices before you kind of know what is a good price, what is a bad price, what you consider to be in good enough condition to where you want to actually buy it, because it does change from website to website. But as long as the website is reputable and it has a good return policy, you're probably going to end up with some really good camera gear. One thing I do want to talk about very quickly for all of the new X-T30 users, or for anybody who just got a Fuji camera body, if you got one of the XC lenses, one of the plastic lenses, especially the 15 to 45, while it is a good starter lens and it is very cost effective, I would highly recommend that you sell this one off and get an 18 to 55, especially a used one. You can find it for about $300 to $350. Sometimes you can get a really good deal around $250. But the difference between the 15 to 45 to an 18 to 55 is really big. You don't really see the magic of the Fujifilm camera systems until you actually upgrade to this camera lens right here. Just to give you an example, I actually have two of these. One of them I don't have an ND filter on, one of them I do have an ND filter on. So for me, if I'm actually working on a project and I'm constantly transitioning from going outside to coming inside, so in other words, having sunlight and not having sunlight, I actually like using these two lenses, in which I basically swap lenses, one with an ND filter and one without an ND filters, because swapping ND filters is quite the pain in the ass most of the time. But that's all I have to say for this video. Hopefully it helped some of you out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.